Welcome to the Word for Life podcast, a daily devotional covering the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
Joshua 13 and 14 speak of how Joshua allotted the lands to each of the tribes of Israel. You see, Moses had already given different areas to each tribes. Now, as chapter 14 verse 1 says, Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the tribal clans of Israel allotted to them. The main point of chapter 13 is that it was Moses who gave these areas to each tribe. So, now there is no dispute or lack of clarity about which tribe will get which land in Canaan. Moses had already said it. For example, in chapter 13, verse 8 we read, "The other half of Manasseh, the Reubenites and the Gadites had received the inheritance that Moses had given them east of the Jordan, as he, the servant of the Lord, had assigned it to them." In verse 15, this is what Moses had given to the tribe of Reuben. In verse 24, this is what Moses had given to the tribe of Gad. In verse 29, this is what Moses had given to the half-tribe of Manasseh. In verse 32, this is the inheritance Moses had given when he was in the plains of Moab, across the Jordan, east of Jericho. In verse 33, but to the tribe of Levi, Moses had given no inheritance. And then finally, in chapter 14 verse 3 we read, Moses had granted the 2.5 tribes their inheritance east of the Jordan, but had not granted the Levites an inheritance among the rest. Friends, you see here that Moses is dead and gone, yet his long shadow still exists in Israel. He is still the authority everyone in Israel listens to. The tribes do not fight with each other as to who gets which land, but simply accept Moses' decision. Friends, Moses' life is an example of a life well lived. He speaks even after he is dead. He commands respect even after death. The Israelites truly honored Moses' words because they knew he lived a life that was obedient to God and faithful to Him. A life lived in faithfulness to God will command respect and will be honored always. In chapter 14, Caleb comes to Joshua and mentions how he too had lived a life that was faithful to the Lord, and therefore Moses allotted special land for his family alone. In chapter 14, verse 8 and 9, Caleb tells Joshua, "I, however, followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly. So on that day Moses swore to me, the land on which your feet have walked will be your inheritance, and that of your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly." You see, even Caleb had lived a life that was faithful to the Lord. So in verse 10 he says, the Lord had kept him alive till he was 85 years old. So in verse 12 he tells Joshua, "Now give me this hill country that the Lord promised me that day." Caleb belonged to a family group called the Kenizzites. Now, we really do not know where these Kenizzites came from, but we know that Kenizzites is not a tribe of Israel. Caleb was not a full Israelite, but his family would have joined the Israelites at some point. Yet, even though he was not a full Israelite, he received a special place in Canaan when the land was allotted to the tribes of Israel. As verse 13 and 14 says, "Then Joshua blessed Caleb son of Jephunneh, and gave him Hebron as his inheritance, because he followed the Lord God of Israel wholeheartedly. Friends, finally, Joshua is another faithful figure among the Israelites. And that is why in chapter 13 verse 1, when Joshua had grown old, the Lord said to him, "You are now very old, and there are still very large areas of land to be taken over." And in verse 6, the Lord tells Joshua, "Be sure to allocate this land to Israel for an inheritance, as I've instructed you." Friends, the Lord found Joshua to be faithful, and therefore he wants Joshua to complete this very important task before his death. Steve Green, a very popular gospel singer, penned these beautiful words in a beautiful song called "Be Faithful." This is how the song goes. "We are pilgrims on the journey of the narrow road, and those who have gone before us line the way, cheering on the faithful, encouraging the weary, their lives a stirring testament to God's sustaining grace. Surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us run the race not only for the prize, but as those who have gone before us. Let us leave to those behind us the heritage of faithfulness, passed on through godly lives. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. May the fire of our devotion light their way. May the footprints that we leave lead them to believe, and the lives we live inspire them to obey. And may all who come behind us find us faithful."
Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Word for Life podcast.